Hi, am I on the air?
Yep.
Fuck.
Thanks.
Do I have everybody's attention now? Do I have everybody's attention now?
Don, I got you.
Do I have everybody's
Sunday
attention
night.
now?
You put them cameras on me, then you must be willing to get that heart touch. This a must-see feeling. The news ain't good, then it must be villain. So I say a tag grounded, I don't trust these ceilings. Spread across your nose, and I'm on your ear. Highest necks on the cloud. Am I in the air? Sunday nights, prime time. I flex my better. Voltron transform to DX Don. Mega and obscene. You probably think I'm nice, cause I slow like a stream to your wireless device. And the smoke full of steam on any given night. I'll short like a piece of any given slice. And for the latest and what is best about, I tune in and tune the rest out, Don. You gotta tell them, am I in the clear? Is this thing on? Am I on the air? On the air?
What is going down, everybody? Welcome to the greatest show on the internet, the greatest podcast, entertainment podcast going today. It is Am I on the Air? I'm your host, Don Mega. Welcome to the show. Tonight, it's another Monday night, man. Monday's starting to become a theme around here in Am I on the Air? It's usually Sundays, but man, Sundays are getting real clogged on time and finding the energy and the time to do it. That the last 3 weeks have been a Monday night thing for me. So who knows? Maybe Monday night will be the new hotness for Am I on the Air? We will see. Either Sunday or Monday. It's going to be one of those. But tonight, it's Season 9, Episode 10. Tonight's show title, There Are No Strings on Me. There are no strings on me. That's right. It is Monday night, October 27th. We got a slew of news. And if you don't know by now, I'm sure you know that what There Are No Strings on Me stands for. That is because we got the first teaser trailer for Avengers Age of Ultron. Yeah, I ain't lying. It's on the page. You can check it out right now. Go to amiontheair.com, click on the trailers tab, and you can check out that Avengers trailer right now. But I will get to that in just a little bit. I have a very big movie review, and it's going to be for John Wick. John Wick. This movie, whew, I can't wait to talk about it. I'm so hyped on John Wick. This movie here, this trailer dropped in the beginning of September, and I was like, what is this John Wick Keanu Reeves movie, right? So I watched the trailer, and I'm like, holy crap, this movie looks awesome. And then it said it comes out in October. And I'm like, that's crazy, man. Because, in my line of work here, keeping you guys updated with all the latest and greatest entertainment news, I usually always know what's coming about a year in advance. I heard nothing about this John Wick movie. Nothing. So I'm like, where did this movie come from? How the hell is it coming out in a month? And how have I not heard anything about this? So I'm thinking, this isn't a good sign. Keanu's last film in theaters was 47 Ronin, and that was not that great. But I started hearing some good things. A couple weeks ago, they started doing some press screenings, and every press screening was saying, this movie's the shit. This is the movie right here. Keanu's back. Bessie's been since The Matrix. This is the hotness right here. I was like, okay, all right, let's see, let's do this. So Friday night, opening night, I go and check this out in IMAX. Yeah, this movie delivers, and it delivers on all fronts. Keanu Reeves, there's a part in the trailer where he says, people keep asking if I'm back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm back. And it's a funny part in the trailer, but after you see this movie, you're like, yeah, he's back. Keanu Reeves kicks so much ass in this film. Your storyline is very simple. It's a very typical revenge flick. If you've seen the trailer, I'm not giving anything away, but you see in the trailer that obviously his wife has passed away. And his wife leaves him this cute little beagle dog. And, he's like, what the hell, man? But the dog helps him kind of grieve over his wife passing. He's got this awesome car in the movie, and these guys come up to him and approach him and say, how much? How much for the car? And he says, it's not for sale. So during that night, he's sleeping and the dog starts barking, and he finds that his house has been broken into, and they jump him and they beat him down, and they kill the dog. Now, this isn't a spoiler alert. You see this in the trailer. They kill the dog. Now, if you know me, I can handle everybody dying in the movie except for animals. I don't like animals dying in film. I'm a big animal lover, and I can't stand when animals get killed. So they kill the dog, and it's the cutest dog in the world, and you're just like, oh my god. And, of course, Keanu wakes up, and he's like, oh, it's on. And he's looking for revenge, and he wants the kid that did this. Because, of course, they stole his car, they killed his dog. And if you've seen the trailer, you also know kind of like his character of John Wick is something that's like, they codenamed him the Boogeyman, but then the head Russian mobster says he's not really the Boogeyman. He's the guy you hire to go get the Boogeyman, because that's how badass John Wick is. And even it's the son, the guy that stole the car and killed his dog, is the son of the head Russian mobster, and the Russian mobster guy beats up his own son in the movie and basically is like, you fucking idiot. Like, do you know who you messed with? Like, do you know the consequences we're going to have to be dealing with here? And it just sets off this chain of events, and the body count. Oh my god. This movie's rated R. It is brutal. It is brutal. Blood, headshots, just the violence is off the hook, but it's realistic, and that's the thing that's so awesome about this, is it's so realistic. You feel every punch, every jab, everything. And the cool thing is that this movie's directed by these two guys that are actually stunt coordinators. They've never directed a movie before, but they're stunt coordinators, and they actually worked with Keanu on the Matrix films. So they had that rapport going already. They knew how Keanu moved. They knew what they can get done with him. There's not really many stunt doubles in the film. Keanu did most of that stuff. And it's awesome, man. I can't describe how awesome this movie is to you guys. It's an action flick. It's a top-notch action flick. The runtime is perfect. The world that they set up and all these little things that they do in the movie create so many different environments that you could see spin-offs of this movie. You definitely see franchise potential. If more people go out and support this, I would love to see a sequel to this. There's just so much going for it, and it's cool because, it's just that simple revenge flick of not only did they steal his car, but they killed his dog, and that dog was the last present from his dying wife. How much deeper and heavier can you get than that? It just delivers on all fronts. Ian McShane has a little role in it. It's awesome. William Dafoe is really good in it. Adrienne Palicki, who I love, she just got signed on to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She showed up on last week's episode, and she's going to be Mockingbird on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but she was an assassin in this movie who was awesome. It's so great. Every character plays a role and plays it great. And this movie kills it, man, and I'm glad, it debuted number 2 at the box office this weekend. It did about $14 million. The movie didn't cost all that much to make. I was hoping to do a little more than $14 million, but the good thing is that before the weekend hit, the early estimates had this movie debuting in like 3rd or 4th place, and only making like $7 or $8 million. So it actually doubled what they were estimating by doing 14. And it did 14 because the word of mouth is so positive on this film. This film's currently sitting at an 89% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Most critics love this film because it delivers everything you want out of it. So for me, out of my famous 5-star scale, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, John Wick gets a 5 out of 5, baby. It delivers on all fronts. There's nothing else that you don't walk away from this film being like, well, that was cool, but I kind of wanted this. No, it had everything. The tone is good. The lighting is beautiful. The shots are beautiful. Even the way they do the subtitles in this movie is beautiful. I loved how everything laid out. Keanu was amazing in it. One of my favorite Keanu Reeves movies already. I would love to go see this again in the theater. I will definitely be buying this on Blu-ray. It is awesome. I hope we get a sequel sometime soon. John Wick, go out and see it. I can't tell you enough how fast you should be running to the theater to check this baby out. 5 out of 5. Alrighty, let's get into the news of the week. And I'm going to backtrack now to the Avengers trailer, because that's what, one of the biggest pieces of news here. So last week, they announced they're going to debut the first trailer for Avengers Age of Ultron after Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or during Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And it was a nice publicity kind of crossover stunt on ABC's part to be like, hey, we can draw more traffic to people to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. if we do this Avengers trailer. So it was pretty genius to set it up this way. And then, I forget what day of the week it was last week, but it was like Thursday or Friday. And all of a sudden, the trailer leaked. And it was an international version, but it's the same trailer that ended up coming out. But this international trailer dropped. And I was like, oh my god. So I watched it. And I was like, this is awesome. This trailer is so badass. And then, about an hour after the leak trailer dropped, Marvel sent out a tweet that said something along the lines of, damn you, Hydra. And then they posted a link to the official trailer. So the official American one had the correct release date and everything on it, in high definition and everything. So we didn't need the stupid little leaked one anymore. We had the official Avengers Age of Ultron trailer drop. So I reposted that one, put it up on the website. Wow, this trailer, I was already so excited for May 1st or May 4th. I forget exactly the date. I think it's May 4th. It's the kickoff of the summer movie season. I didn't think I could get more excited. I mean, I knew the first trailer was going to wow me, but I didn't think it was going to be like this. This trailer's dark, and it's disturbing, and it looks like there's a lot that's going to go down in this film that's going to shake up all of our favorite heroes. You see so much go down in this 2-minute trailer with really minimal dialogue, and it's got this really creepy Pinocchio song playing. I've got no strings to hold me down. And you see in the trailer, there's this Avengers party going on. They're all chilling. You even see Thor. If you pause it and you look right, Thor's in a jacket and a regular outfit, which is kind of cool because you never see Thor like that. And they're chilling, and then all of a sudden this kind of whack robot comes walking out that's kind of half destroyed. And he says, you think we're all just puppets? And then he picks up another kind of Iron Man type suit and smashes the head in. And all the Avengers are like, holy shit, what is this? And because if you know the story of Ultron, he's just this crappy little kind of robot in the beginning, and then he upgrades himself. So it looks like he's going to coat his armor in the vibranium, and he's going to start upgrading and upgrading and upgrading. At the very end of the trailer, you see his final form, and he looks menacing. And that's where the, there are no strings on me line comes from. And it's such a creepy moment. The music, the background of everything going on. There's not one smile in this trailer. If you watch it closely, everybody's in full-on panic mode in this trailer. But you see your first glimpses of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. You see Thor and Captain America. You see Hulk. You see Hulk fighting Iron Man in the Hulkbuster armor, which is amazing. You see Thor grabbing Tony Stark by the throat and throwing him up against the wall. I mean, there's so much. You see the twins, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. You see them actually with Ultron in one scene of the trailer. But then I think they're against them later on in it. You see a multiple little Ultron army flying around. You hear Tony Stark saying this is the end of the road that we put together. And there's so much going on in this thing just in this couple minutes. And, I've spent time just kind of I've watched this trailer probably 25 times already. And it's you pause at different parts and you look at all these different things. You see Andy Serkis in the trailer, and a lot of people were wondering, who is he going to be playing? The big rumor going around is that he's going to be Ulysses Claw. Ulysses Claw, who is a villain in the Black Panther mythology. And there's a lot of hints that this is teasing Black Panther. Maybe Black Panther will pop up in this, but they're definitely going to go to Uganda, and they're going to, they're using the vibranium aspect of it. Captain America's shield gets broken in this, so they might use it to rebuild his shield. But this might be the little tie-in this. If you have Andy Serkis playing Claw, you set that up, and then so when he pops up again in the Black Panther movie, it all makes sense. So there's so much going down on this. I mean, I could spend forever talking just about this trailer. I got other stuff I want to get to, but man, it's good stuff. You gotta check it out. I don't know, you must be living under a rock if you haven't seen this trailer yet. But if you haven't, once again, just go to amiontheair.com, click on the trailers tab. It's at the very top. You don't even have to scroll down the page. Check it out. Avengers Age of Ultron, coming summer 2015. I've got no strings to hold me down. Alrighty. Let's roll with the news, ladies and gentlemen. Our Everything Wrong With video, our first one of last week, is Everything Wrong With A Nightmare on Elm Street. And then later in the week, he did Everything Wrong With Oculus. So check those out. The honest trailer of last week was X-Men Days of Future Past. This one was really, really good, especially because he does a complete comparison with the Terminator movie, and I never realized how close this thing was to Terminator until I watched this honest trailer, so check it out. Rob Riggle has been added to the cast of the Dead Rising film. This is the Dead Rising film that Crackle is going to be showing on their network. The creator of the Sandman comic came out and he explained, a lot of people were wondering, why wasn't Sandman on that DC agenda that dropped last week? He came out and he said because it's actually a Vertigo comic and it's not DC, so it's going to have its own release and it's not a part of that big DC slate. So, cool. Richard Linklater's spiritual sequel to Dazed and Confused is now filming. I don't know how much is going to tie in, but this film is going to be set in the 80s. It's kind of connected to Dazed and Confused. It's not a direct sequel. They're calling it a spiritual sequel. So take that for whatever you will. SNL has promoted Leslie Jones from a writer to a featured player on this season of SNL. Sean Bean has joined the cast of Ridley Scott's new film, The Martian. So that's a cool little addition. They're really stacking this Martian film. I'm going to have some more casting news later on for you. Well, I'll just tell you right now. Chiwetel Ejiofor and I'm spacing his name now, but Winter Soldier himself, Sebastian Stan, he's also joined it. So, but getting Chiwetel Ejiofor is a big, big deal. I mean, the guy just had a Oscar-winning year last year with 12 Years a Slave. So they are stacking this Martian movie. I just hope it's good. The Conjuring sequel was supposed to come out in 2015 on Halloween. It's been pushed back to 2016. They've replaced the 2015 date with a mystery horror film. No word on what the mystery horror film is, but the reason that the Conjuring sequel has been pushed back a year is because James Wan is returning. James Wan is the director of the original Conjuring. He is finishing up all his work on Fast and Furious 7, and that's why he can't jump right into doing The Conjuring right now. So the studio made a smart move, and they said, cool, we will wait for you, and we'll just push the movie back a year. So that makes a lot of sense, so good news there for Conjuring fans. Billy Bob Thornton has come out in an interview and said that Bad Santa 2 is definitely happening, and it will happen here soon. So for all you, I didn't like Bad Santa. Maybe I need to watch it again. I know a lot of people do, but wasn't my thing. In good news for fans of The Flash and Jane the Virgin, they get full orders over at the CW. So the CW has given them a full slate, 23 episode seasons. They're getting the full-on thing, which is awesome, man. I'm a big fan of The Flash, and I'm very happy for its success. I'm going to get to some news on The Flash later on also that just broke earlier today. That was great news for the CW and for Flash. FX has canceled The Bridge after 2 seasons. So I never got into The Bridge, but they have decided to cancel that. Over on MTV, they have picked up the show Faking It for 10 episodes. Christian Slater is set to topline USA Network's new hacker drama called Mr. Robot. Natalie Dormer is set to star in a new supernatural thriller called The Forest. Sci-Fi has renewed zombie drama Z Nation. Yes, Z Nation will begin another season. Disney has given up the rights to John Carter, and that the author's estate has taken the rights back, and they are now shopping the rights back out to movie studios, saying that they want to get a new film going, and they said there's a lot of potential, a lot of stories to tell, and they're going to find a studio that wants to tell it. This excites me. I love John Carter. I thought this was a really good movie. It was a fun ride in the theaters, and it's really sad that it didn't do better. This movie's considered a ginormous bomb by many people, but it did bring in about $250 million in the box office. It just did really poorly here domestically. In the States side, it only did like $75 million. It was a super expensive movie. The movie cost, after marketing and everything, about $250 million. So, it kind of just broke even financially from that side, but there was still money that was lost to the theaters and stuff like that. No word if like Taylor Kitsch would come back and reprise his role or anything. We'll see if a studio even wants to take a journey on this. I think they could. I don't think there's any reason. See, Disney did the same thing with Lone Ranger. That movie was over $200 million, and there was no reason for it. So if you scale that budget back, I think you can make it work. But I really like John Carter, and I would love to see it get another chance. We have the first picture posted of Nicholas D'Agosto as Harvey Dent in Gotham. You can check that out. Kim Basinger has joined the cast of Shane Black's The Nice Guys, opposite Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. Ray Fisher, who's going to be playing Cyborg in the Cyborg movie and Justice League and everything, says that fans are in for a hell of a treat, especially beginning with Batman v Superman. Speaking of Batman v Superman, news just broke today that if you go see The Hobbit, the new Hobbit, the Battle of the Five Armies, in IMAX, you're going to see a teaser trailer debut of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Oh, it made me so upset this morning when I read this news because I can't stand the Hobbit movies. I just can't stand them. But I want to see the teaser trailer in IMAX for Batman v Superman. So I don't know. Is it worth me to go sit down and watch Hobbit? I don't know. Maybe, because I got to see this trailer. We'll see. The new Pee Wee Herman movie will be announced any minute, says Paul Rubens. It's been more than any minute because this news dropped 5 days ago, and we still have no news on it. But yes, he says it's definitely coming, the brand new Pee Wee Herman movie. Going back, once again, the major networks are looking to turn movies into TV shows, and up next is ABC has plans to turn the 1984 Tom Hanks comedy Bachelor Party into a television series. Oh, God. I have nothing else really to say on that. We have the first trailer for The Woman in Black, Angel of Death. That new trailer dropped. We have the official Red Band trailer for The Gambler, starring Mark Wahlberg. This is actually a pretty cool little trailer. It's only a little over a minute long, but it looks pretty tight. I'm excited for it. We have the picture of the first look of Adrienne Palicki in her Mockingbird suit for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It looks really good, let me tell you. But I think Adrienne Palicki makes anything look good. We have our first full look of Johnny Depp coming from as the big bad wolf in the upcoming movie Into the Woods. And you can see that it's on the cover of Entertainment Weekly, but we posted the cover here on our Twitter page. Emmy-nominated Firefly and Homeland actress. What is her name? Oh my goodness, I totally spaced it. It is Marina Baccarin. Yes, Marina Baccarin. She is going to be on Gotham. Yes. She will make her debut this season, and then her character is going to be series regular starting in season 2. She will be playing Dr. Leslie Tompkins, a medical colleague of Bruce Wayne's father. The character made her debut in the comics in 1976 in the pages of Detective Comics number 457. She has been in the New 52 continuity, appearing in flashback sequences in The Red Hood and The Outlaws. So, very, very cool. She will be seen working at Arkham Asylum with plans for the character to become an ally of Detective James Gordon. So there you go on that aspect. Dark Horse comic, I should say graphic novel more. The novel Polar is going to be coming to the big screen. They're making a movie version of that. Steve Coogan is replacing Philip Seymour Hoffman on the new Showtime comedy pilot for the show Happy-ish. So it's sad that they have to replace Philip Seymour Hoffman. Rest in peace. But Steve Coogan could be a very nice replacement for that. TNT has greenlit a Cold Justice spin-off. No more news is related to this. There's no name, there's no nothing really going for it other than they greenlit it and it's coming. ABC has ordered a Shark Tank spin-off. Speaking of spin-offs, I kind of like the sound of the Shark Tank one. I don't watch Shark Tank, but I know the concept, which is obviously you come out and you pitch your kind of business to investors and see if they'll invest in you. The spin-off show will actually follow these upstarts after they've launched their business and kind of see if they become successful or what, and kind of show them in the field, after the business's launch. So I like that idea of seeing like, okay, now they're financed, now what? So I like it. So it's a cool little spin-off idea there for that. Game of Thrones actress, what is her name? Nathalie Emmanuel. She's on Game of Thrones. She has just joined the cast of The Scorch Trials, which is the sequel to The Maze Runner. So there you go on that one. Let's see here. Oh, this was funny. News came out last week that the 3 movies in the new Hobbit trilogy cost $745 million to make. Wow. $745 million for 3 movies. That is insane. The funny thing is, if you really read into the article on it, the original pitch to Warner Brothers was, we're going to do 2 movies at a budget of $150 apiece. 2 movies, $150 apiece, turned into 3 movies and $745 million. God damn. All right, moving on. Let's see here. Sci-Fi has renewed Face Off for season 8. They're tweaking the format a little bit. They're going to bring back some former winners, and the winners are going to build teams, and that's going to be kind of a team competition. So pretty cool. Here. About that. Oh, we got the first trailer for Insidious Chapter 3, which looks like a prequel, actually, to the first 2. So it's funny it's Chapter 3, but it's technically Chapter 1. I don't know. I gave up on the Insidious films. I couldn't even make it a half hour into the part 2. So I'm out for this third one. Evan Peters, who plays Quicksilver in the X-Men franchise, he will be returning in X-Men Apocalypse, and the producers say that they have built in a new fun scene for him to do in X-Men Apocalypse, kind of like his solo scene in Days of Future Past when he rescues Magneto, and he kind of has that solo scene where he's breaking him out of prison. They did another kind of exclusive scene for him in the new movie to make him shine like that. I just hope that he actually has more to do in this film and is not just another like, hey, let's go get this guy for one quick mission and then see you later. So that's what I'm hoping, because that would suck if that's all they did with him again, because it really makes no sense to leave this dude behind. Fox has ordered more scripts for Red Band Society, so if you're a fan of that show, it's getting some more episodes, which is cool because it looked like it was on the cancellation list, but Fox is holding on to it. Will Smith is going to be actually executive producing and turning Hitch, his hit film Hitch, into a TV series. I actually like the idea of this movie becoming a TV series because I feel Hitch is something that they could make a weekly television show out of, because he's a love doctor. He's somebody that helps these guys meet women, and I think that concept could be something unique for a TV show where every week he's meeting a new guy, he's trying to help them, get past their quirky little things and meet girls that they like. I can see it being a concept that could actually last over several episodes. So, hey, I like it. And I like the fact that Will Smith is actually involved with this as a producer. Margot Robbie is in talks to star in the Taliban Shuffle opposite Tina Fey, so that'd be pretty cool. Steve Carell and Charlie Kaufman are teaming up for a new high-concept sci-fi satire movie called IQ 83. Don't know much else other than that. Adam McKay could be taking a director's chair in an upcoming Marvel Studios film. Adam is a big comedy director. He did the Anchorman movies, he did Step Brothers, and the other guys. They tried to get him to do Ant-Man, but it just didn't fit into his schedule. But he did help rewrite the script. I talked about it actually just last week. that he worked with Paul Rudd and they rewrote the script. They had such a good time working with him doing the script for Ant-Man that Marvel is actually in negotiations to try to work something out with him to helm his own project. So that's pretty cool. I would love to see Adam McKay's vision on a Marvel franchise film, so very cool. A new Netflix original series called Bloodline is coming in March, and you can watch the first teaser trailer on our Twitter page. Christian Bale has been confirmed to be playing Steve Jobs in the new Danny Boyle biopic film, so that is cool. It's been rumored for a long time that they wanted Christian Bale, so it's cool that they locked him in. CSI's episode order has been shortened by CBS, so that's not good. This is another show that should have a full 22, 23 episode season. I believe it's been trimmed down to 15. So, yeah, CBS is shortening that one up. Fox has ordered a modern-day Frankenstein pilot. I don't know about a Frankenstein pilot. I don't know. I'll have to see. House of Lies, I love this show. House of Lies has welcomed Mary McCormick and Alicia Whitty as new co-stars to the show, so I like that. Both of them are pretty cool. Marvel has announced that they're going to actually show some more Avengers Age of Ultron footage during Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. tomorrow night. Like we talked about at the beginning, the original plan was to debut the trailer during Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Well, that got spoiled. So, they still wanted to do something, and they wanted to try to bring people back into it, so they decided, we'll just show... What I'm hearing now is that instead of an extended trailer, they're going to actually show a clip from the movie. They're going to show an exclusive scene. So that'd be cool too. Or they might show an extended trailer. I'm not sure, but they're going to do something. And also I am hearing that Marvel is actually doing an exclusive press conference tomorrow morning in LA. And they've asked a lot of the press in the LA area to come down at like 11 o'clock tomorrow and be witness to a presentation from Marvel. No one knows what it's about. But I'm hoping, man, fingers crossed that something really cool is going to come out of this press conference tomorrow, because it's not like a studio to just kind of flag down media to be like, hey, we need you. Come check this out tomorrow. So I hope it's something really cool. But yeah, so DVR Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. tomorrow. Even if you don't watch the show, DVR it tomorrow and check out some exclusive extra Avengers Age of Ultron stuff that has never been seen before. The Archie comic is going to be coming to a new live-action TV show, but it's going to be getting a dark and weird twist. The show will be called Riverdale, and it's supposed to be all the characters from the Archie comic, but all the weird, creepy things that go down in the town of Riverdale. It's kind of a unique spin. I was really big into Archie comics as a kid, and I read the full article on this, and I'm very intrigued on what they can pull off here with Riverdale. So it'll be interesting to see the Archie and the gang come to life, especially in a weird, creepy type way. So, let's see. Oh, the DC head honcho has come out and officially put the stomp to the debate of their TV and movie universes. He calls it a multiverse, and says basically that TV will run TV and movies will run movies. But he says, that basically they will be shared universes, but the shared aspect will be in the movies, and the other shared aspect will be on TV shows. It's a multiverse, and they'll work within their own systems. But to keep, the freedom open for filmmakers to do their own visions and leave alone the TV shows to do what they got to do and not have to worry about what films do, it's just better to keep them separated. So he didn't rule out that maybe one day they might do a TV show that is linked to the movie universe, but for now, it's going to be separate. Okay? ABC is also considering a Phantom of the Opera TV show, and it's going to be from the creator of Desperate Housewives. No thanks. Vin Diesel's next movie, The Last Witch Hunter, has been given an official release date. It will hit theaters on October 23rd, 2015. So just about in a year, we'll be seeing The Last Witch Hunter. I'm looking forward to this one. ABC has ordered extra episodes of Once Upon a Time, Modern Family, Blackish, and Castle. So that's really cool. I love Modern Family. That's my favorite on TV. And Blackish is just killing me right now. I love it. So I'm glad to see Blackish is still doing great and getting some extra episode orders. Luke Evans is set to star in a new action thriller called Free Fire. He better finish the Crow reboot first, because I'm tired of the Crow reboot keep getting pushed off while he does all these other projects. Come on, Luke. I like you a lot, but you need to get on this Crow remake. TLC has canceled Here Comes Honey Boo Boo. Wah, wah. There's some more controversy behind it. They're saying that the Mama June, that's on the TV show, is dating a sex offender, and the sex offender has actually molested her daughter, and it's this whole big thing. I don't want to really get into it, but TLC wants out, and they want nothing to do with it, so they bounced. Nikita's Lindsay Fonseca, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her last name right, but she's joined Marvel's Agent Carter TV show. I love Lindsay, and I'm sorry for mispronouncing your last name, but she is one of the most gorgeous women I've ever seen in my life. And I watched Nikita all the way through for her and for Maggie Q. Great show. She's awesome. I wish she would get more roles because she's badass. She would have been a good Wonder Woman, to be honest. But I'm glad to see her kind of come into the Marvel universe, even though it's Agent Carter, unfortunately, which means she'll be only, she probably won't ever be in the universe because that's all in the past. But I love her, and I'm glad to see her join Agent Carter. Supposedly, they're looking to get Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor to have a role in the Suicide Squad film. So this was pretty cool news. It dropped a couple days ago. Y'all know I talked about it last week. They're doing a Suicide Squad movie, and I don't know if it's going to be a big role or if they just want to kind of bring him in since he's a villain and kind of almost set up the film. It kind of helps bridge the universe so people understand the Suicide Squad is a part of that bigger DC universe. I like the idea. Now it's just up to see if they can get Jesse Eisenberg to do it. But we'll let you know. We'll keep you posted on that. Seth Rogen, Will Ferrell, Megan Fox have all joined James Franco's new movie, Zeroville. I don't know much about the movie, but that cast alone has me sold. Where do I sign? Paul Giamatti and Damian Lewis are going to star in Showtime's new TV show called Billions. Don't know much else about it, but two good actors right there for that. We have the first trailer for Serena, which is the new film starring Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper. Comes out next year. Let's see here. Jim Parsons is going to be voicing Elf, Buddy the Elf, in a new animated special. Of course, Buddy the Elf comes from the movie Elf, Will Ferrell. So it'll be interesting to see Jim Parsons doing the voice for Buddy. But yeah, they're doing a new animated special over on NBC for that. Speaking of the Crow remake, they're aiming for a spring 2015 production start, according to the producers of the film. This is a big article. I'm not going to really go through it and break it down. I had planned originally, but I'm not going to. We spent a lot of time on this DC universe and all this kind of stuff, but between now and 2020, there are 29 superhero movies slated. Yes, 29. And we posted a really cool article over on our Facebook and our Twitter page breaking down what's coming. All 29 superhero movies through 2020, a breakdown of what's coming. It's a really cool article. Talks all about the whole slate between Marvel and DC, so check that out. The first cancellation of the major networks this TV season comes from ABC, and ABC has canceled Manhattan Love Story. This show looks so stupid, and nobody watched it, and it got canceled. So goodbye to ABC's Manhattan Love Story. ABC has expanded some orders for Grey's Anatomy and Castle, so they'll get some more episodes. Courtney Love has joined Fox's new show Empire. Bravo's Below Deck has been renewed for season 3. Who thought that Christopher Nolan was going to be involved with any more DC movies? Sorry, but they're not. The Nolans himself and his brother have come out and stated that, yeah, they're no longer involved with the future of the DC Comics universe. They, of course, did the 3 Batman movies with Christian Bale. Christopher Nolan executive produced Man of Steel. And I've read some reports that said he is an executive producer on Batman v Superman, but that it's very, very minuscule because he was doing Interstellar at the time and didn't have much input. But on paper, he's there. But I don't know. It doesn't. I haven't seen anything really since that even relates him to Batman v Superman. But in any case, moving forward in the future, I know a lot of people were hoping maybe Christopher Nolan will be like the Kevin Feige of DC or something like that. But he's like, nah, I'm moving on. Got other shit to do. So, the DC is speaking of DC. They're looking for a female director to do the Wonder Woman movie. So. Pretty cool idea. Hey, Wonder Woman, let's get a woman director behind it. So, makes a lot of sense. And supposedly, these are the names that are being looked at. It has Catherine Hardwicke, who directed Twilight and Red Riding Hood. Mimi Leder, who did Deep Impact and The Leftovers. Julie Taymor, who did The Tempest and Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark Broadway play. Karen Kusama, who did Ian Flux and Jennifer's Body. Emmy winner Michelle MacLaren, who directed episodes of Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead. Trisha Brock, who did The Walking Dead and Community. And, of course, Oscar winner Catherine Bigelow, who directed Zero Dark 30 and The Hurt Locker. Catherine Bigelow would be the best name to get for this, but she's probably going to be incredibly hard to get for a project like this. I doubt she would do something like this. Out of these names, I would probably go with Michelle MacLaren because of doing Game of Thrones, which I think would give her a great setup for this. People forget that the director of Thor: The Dark World was Alan Taylor, and Alan Taylor came from directing Game of Thrones, and he did an awesome job with Thor. So I think that she could bring that kind of Xena warrior, aspect to Wonder Woman. So, and she's also done The Walking Dead and Breaking Bad, so she has the best overall resume, I think, outside of Catherine Bigelow, of course. So we'll keep you posted on that as they kind of get closer, but they're definitely looking for a female director. Academy Award winner Adam Davidson is going to direct the Walking Dead's companion series pilot. So yeah, they're doing that spin-off show. There's still no name or anything, but they're going to do this. He's going to do direct the pilot. The original directors and writers of the Lego Movie, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, have just been signed to return to write the sequel. So that is really cool. Everything continues to be awesome. Universal Pictures late last night and early this morning kind of broke the news that they've released. So Fast and Furious 7 is coming. Comes in April. And I've been thinking, man, like we just got an Avengers trailer for May. We've seen actually some trailers for stuff that's coming out way down the road. When are we going to see something for Fast and Furious? And lo and behold, Universal comes to the rescue. The new title for Fast and Furious 7 is simply going to be Furious 7. And I really like it. Of course, we had Fast 5. And if you watch Fast and Furious 6, in the very beginning of the film when the credits come up, it says Furious 6. So they had the idea there. It was Fast 5, then Furious 6. But it only says Furious 6 at the beginning of the movie. It was never referred to that in any promotional marketing or anything like that. It was always Fast and Furious 6. So it's kind of cool that on this one they are going with Furious 7. The film will officially be titled Furious 7. And they released this really cool poster. It's like a banner. And it's 7 people. It makes sense. It really does. You have The Rock, then Michelle, Rodriguez, you have Paul Walker, Vin Diesel, Tyrese, Ludacris, and Jordana Brewster. There's your Furious 7 right there, all lined up, ready to go. And the tagline of the film is Vengeance Hits Home. Comes out April 3rd, 2015. And on top of just the name and everything coming out, the trailer, the first official trailer for Furious 7 will drop this Saturday, November the 1st. So I'm super, super, super stoked. And they're releasing little Instagram videos all week long to tease us for the trailer premiere of Furious 7. So I can't wait to see the trailer. I'm so curious to see how they put everything together, how Paul Walker looks in it, how everything pans out. I'm a big, big fan of the Fast and Furious franchise. I'm, I've been there for the whole ride for the previous 6, and I'll be there for however many more they do. And I was really devastated by Paul Walker's death, and I'm just really looking forward to how they turn this around. Jason Statham's the bad guy. It's going to be exciting, man, so I can't wait. Furious 7. Oh, yeah, baby. You can check out that banner photo, too, on our Twitter page. They also released a new poster for it today, which is kind of a close-up of a tire. And the same thing, this is Furious 7, Vengeance Hits Home. You know, so it's a pretty simple poster, but it's pretty cool at the same time. We also posted a YouTube video for a brand new mashup video that the makers of Fast and Furious 7 put together. It's to kind of tease us getting ready, and it does this montage of all 6 films leading up to number 7. So you can check out that YouTube clip on our Twitter page as well. Microsoft has dropped the price of the Xbox One. It will be $349 going forward for the holidays. Jennifer Lawrence is doing the cover of Empire magazine for the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. It's a pretty cool poster there. You can see that Fast and Furious Furious 7 poster that I talked about. Ewan McGregor says they have plans to shoot the sequel to Trainspotting in 2016. The Flash has added another new star to the show. It has added Melise Zhao, who is going to be playing Linda Park. Now, it's funny because in the comics, Linda Park becomes the wife of Wally West, who is another version of the Flash. So it's kind of funny that they're bringing her in, and she's going to be, you know, with the Flash. But there you go. She'll be coming out here and doing her thing over on the Flash. So when I said I had other news on The Flash, I was talking about its premiere. The Flash premiere has set a new CW record. The final DVR reviewings came out. DVR is on a delay, so when they come out with ratings, it's always for like the live TV, and then they announce the DVR stuff after. And the DVR numbers came out, and Flash did like 7 million viewers or something crazy, and it's the biggest debut ever for a CW show, so that is pretty damn awesome. Kevin Feige has confirmed that we will be getting a new Avengers lineup after Age of Ultron. So he says, just like the comics, Avengers trade in, trade out, you get different members of the team, and it will have a shift based on the events of Age of Ultron. So especially if they're heading towards Civil War and everything, I can't wait to see what Ultron has, you know, shaken up for everything. And in our last big piece of news, I saved this for the end. I did. Because this news broke earlier today and everybody's losing their mind. So it's a good thing I waited till Monday to do the show. I felt like something was going to drop today, and it did. Ladies and gentlemen, Marvel has found its Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange, and it is a name that we've been tossing around for a long time. It actually goes back to the very, very first lineup that we announced. In the beginning, it was down to 2 guys. I mean, we're talking, 5-6 months ago? They said, Marvel wants 2 people, Benedict Cumberbatch and Tom Hardy. Those are the names. And since those names came out, there's been a ton of other names that have come and gone. Joaquin Phoenix was in negotiations for a long time, but then he dropped out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we go back to 5 or 6 months ago, and your new Doctor Strange is Benedict Cumberbatch. So, pretty awesome. Red Dragons right there. Benedict, I've always said, would be an amazing Doctor Strange. He really fits the mold of that, and I think he's going to set something different for the Marvel Cinematic Universe that really nobody else has. You know, I mean, that's the thing, is it's different. And I like it. I like what he's going to bring to the table. And it's just, I don't know, man. You know, what I do got to say, and this is where a lot of sites go wrong, and I just want to keep it real with everybody here, is that he is in final negotiations to play. So he is not officially signed, but he's pretty much signed at this point. And the way it works is that, you know, you go into negotiations, and when everything kind of pans out, and you've looked at the schedule, and you've looked at money and everything, you kind of have a handshake deal, and you say, okay, let's do it. Let's just bring the lawyers in and let's make it official. The negotiations then go into final negotiations, and once you hit final negotiations, it's about 90% confirmed that it's gonna happen at this point. So Benedict, although not officially, he is pretty much officially, as he's in final negotiations with Marvel. He's gonna do it. I talked earlier, like I said, tomorrow is that big Marvel press conference. Maybe they'll bring Benedict out. They haven't announced the official release date yet for Doctor Strange. Maybe they'll drop that as well. Who knows? Maybe they'll announce Black Panther at the same time. Maybe they'll do a big casting announcement tomorrow. I don't know. But what I do know is that Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be Doctor Strange, and it's awesome, and I'm glad we finally have a name, because I'm sick of every week when I do the show, I got to tell you about 4 or 5 new actors that are being rumored to be Doctor Strange. Now we don't have to anymore. It is Benedict Cumberbatch. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's your news for the week. Let's go over to our box office and our releases, and we'll wrap this baby up. Out on DVD and Blu-ray tomorrow is Deliver Us from Evil, Wish I Was Here, Begin Again, and Life of Crime. In theaters on Friday is Nightcrawler and Before I Go to Sleep. Remember, Before I Go to Sleep is also the movie that's going to be making its Netflix debut on the same exact night. So Friday night on Netflix, if you get on, it'll be there. So you don't even need to go to the theater. But if you want to, cool. It'll be playing in some theaters. But I'm all about Nightcrawler. I can't wait to see that. It's got high Oscar potential, and I can't wait to see how that one plays out. Let's go down our box office results for the weekend. Coming in number 10 is Dracula Untold with 4.3 million. Number 9 is The Judge with 4.3 million. Number 8 is The Best of Me with 4.7 million. Number 7 is Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day with 7 million. Number 6 is St. Vincent with 8.1 million. Number 5 is The Book of Life with 9.8 million. Number 4 is Gone Girl with 11.1 million. Number 3 is Fury with 13 million. Number 2 is my boy John Wick with 14.2 million. And the number 1 movie, you could tell it's close to Halloween, it's Ouija. Ouija debuted with a massive $20 million opening. That is very, very big for a movie like that. Ouija was made for only $6 million, and it made 20 its opening weekend. That's why these horror movies get all these sequels and all this other stuff comes out, because they're so cheap to make, and even if the movie disappears next weekend, it's already turned a massive profit. So it's a win-win right there. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your show. Thank you so much for tuning in to this new episode here on this Monday night, October the 27th, 2014. I'm glad that you've given us a shot and you've listened and caught up on your entertainment news. So let's run down the shout-outs. Let's go with, of course, AmIOnTheAir.com. That's the official webpage. Listen to the show. Listen to the Am I Still in the Air bonus episodes. Look at trailers. Look at the box office and the release dates like I just read you. Look at movie reviews. That's all right there on AmIOnTheAir.com. You can like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/AmIOnTheAir. You can follow us on Twitter at AmIOnTheAir. I highly recommend, if you're on Twitter, that you follow us, because that's how you get all the news in real time, baby. Same thing with Facebook, although you get more news on the Twitter feed, so get on Twitter. You can, of course, follow me on Twitter at DXDonMega. Love to talk movies with you, so come, follow me and holla. Say that you listen to the show and you want to say what's up, talk a little movies, let's do it. You can subscribe to us on iTunes. The link to our iTunes page is on our website on AmIOnTheAir.com. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. It's youtube.com/AmIOnTheAir. We are on Google+. You can, of course, listen to us on Stitcher Radio as well. Stitcher is your one-stop shop on the go for mobile devices, tablets, phones, everything. You can download Stitcher and listen to the show right there on that. So that'll do it for me. Thank you so much for listening once again. Until next time, my friends, peace. Red Dragon!